water. This is how Chieftain Akrog felt stepping through the fourth and final hex gate. As though his whole soul had been taken apart and swirled through an endless ocean of time. Every moment of his life, from seeing the light of the world in the shelter of the Elders, to Noag's desperate words only heartbeats ago. It was right there with him. Every moment, every thought, every feeling. Every decision he had made that had led up to this point. The Eclipse Goddess saw them all.
Look! Other strange airs sparkle. Let Granois take a closer look. This looks interesting. No, I'll go look. Those two again. Hierophant Ishara and High Priest Vartos. Focus, Chieftain. What spoke they of?
Yes. You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Vartos.
Your Reverence, what are you doing here? The next renewal...
Is not due for a few more moons, I'm aware. There's something we need to discuss.
Certainly. Shall we speak in my study?
Yes, let's do that.
Follow me then. Oh, and Ishara, I'm so sorry about what happened to Galia. I hope you know.
What?
Nothing. Let's carry on.
This must have taken place before the first time window they saw. The one where she crushed him and leached his power.
Zazka was thinking the same thing. And they spoke of Galia, no? That was the priestess of Nihalf, the one from the Hex Bubble. Maybe what happened to her caused Ishara too. Well,
They will never know. And it matters not. But look, Chieftain. Something came through the window again.
what is this?
Grunwald will go there. Time to move on. He is on his way.
Interesting.
All right, and here they go again.
What now? More trouble?
That way.
If he insists.
Let Akrog see.
This way? You find out.
He will protect the tribe.
They run from Noir.
He is going.
What is that? Let Zazka
What
get
are these hex walls, Grungwar? They feel almost as powerful as the hex gate seals.
That is because they are. Grungwar thinks this is the seal the Hibernians kept speaking of. The one the Hierophant went into the temples every few moons to renew.
Muck was devious utters, of course. That is why they go around the whole sarcophagus room.
This is rotten bad, Chieftain. There is no way they can get through these hex walls. No way. This is hexing worthy of a god.
Godlike hexing or not, they can at least try. Akrog will not let some stupid wall stop them.
Go ahead then, try. Hit it with a crush stick. Throw his best hexes at it. It will not help. Grungwar has been hexing his entire life, and he knows when he meets his match.
Grungwar is right, trusted one. Think about it. If the sacred seal conjured these hex walls to keep the cub safe, why would a few trolls be able to get through it?
Zaska speaks true.
Then they will just go back to the now, when the hex walls were not there.
Not the hex walls, but the rotten corruption. They cannot reach the sarcophagus, not here, and not then, and they are running out of time.
What is the matter with Grungwar? Is he having dark thoughts?
Grungwar is not angry, just impatient. Every second they waste here, the chainers and the hunters spend marching further towards the tribe camp.
When a troll choose between hope and fear, why choose latter? Grump always say this to Noag.
Moonblood is right. Grungwar is sorry, Chieftain. It is just... never mind.
Well, despair will not help them. They have not searched this entire place yet. There must be a way.
And Zazka thinks he just found it. See the scrap bars over there? Zazka might be able to fit through them. Maybe he can reach the sarcophagus room from underground.
That is dangerous. It is likely the hex gates go deep into the soil. And when it is dark, Zaska might not even see them. They could cut him in two.
No! Moonkin needs Zazka whole! Even the prettiest and wholest Moonkin will not help if the tribe gets untusked by a horde of hunters. Just let him try, trusted one.
Fine. But the moment he feels the hex wall, he will come back, all right?
Sure. Can Zaska help?
In that direction?
Time to get his tasks straight. Can a troll not rest for a moment? Head towards certain doom. Sure, why not? Moving on. Going now. Head towards certain doom. Sure, why not? If he insists. What is that? No way they can get through here. Oh, Mugwa's cursed rotten beak shit utters! Shit! The ground has almost come through the plates. Maybe, of course. This is it. Back to the others now. This way? Interesting. Probably. Zasko is right at home. Ready for action.
What should he do?
What is that?
Zaska has the cub's head knot. The tunnel led not to the sarcophagus room then.
It did. But the room is as corrupted there as it is in the now. Even if there was a way through those rotten hex walls, there is no way they can get to the sarcophagus.
No. There must be a way. There must!
And Zaska thinks there is. The Mugwa's tear seedling Grungwar plucked before the devouring. The one for that tribe camp to last. Has Grungwar it still?
He has. The bone dust they found kept it healthy. But if Zaska is thinking about planting it there to keep the corruption away, like in that garden, it will not work. It is only a seedling and barely has any hex power.
Until it grows. Zaska wants to plant the seedling in the them, and then travel back into the now. That is it, no?
Great minds think alike.
Grungwar knows not.
Grungwar. Akrog knows this plant has become a totem to him. But this is more important.
It is not about that, chieftain. The seedling, Grungwar thinks not that it will survive that close to the corruption. It is impossible.
Why not? In that forest here, the garden, the tears even fought it back.
True, because there were dozens, and had probably been there long before this corruption started. A nightmare swarm of beaks can tear apart an entire greenskin horde, but a single one? They would crush it in the blink of an eye.
Curse it.
Can they not at least try?
They could, but it would be pointless. The hex power is just not strong enough. The only thing... No, this is foolish.
Just say it, Grungwar. There is no time.
A blood-giving. A blood-giving might give the seedling the hex power it needs to survive and beat the corruption.
He means a sacrifice.
like when the Bone Seers spill their blood to summon Mugwa's cub. Grungwa would do it without hesitation, but there is no way he can get into the sarcophagus room with those cursed rotten hex walls all around it.
No way for Grungwa.
No one will sacrifice himself. Not Grungwa, not Zazka, not Noag, not Akrog.
Noag no understand. What is Sagwer 5? No matter, little big oaf. No matter at all. Remembers Grungwa what he asked Zazka before the devouring? Whether Zazka wanted everyone to shun him?
Wait, this is not...
It is a stab to the heart. Every time they call him names. Every time they invite Zazka not to their hunts. Every time they pretend he is not there. It is a stab to the rotten heart. Still, Zazka is a moonkin, no matter what they say. And if Zazka's weak worm-eater blood might end up saving the mighty tribe, all the rotten better. He would do it just to see the looks on their faces.
No, Akrog will not let Zazka do this. He will stay right here and help them find another way.
This is not Akrog's choice to make. Just be careful. That thing, it... Oh, Mugwa. Just let this be worth it.
Zazka! The seedling! He took the seedling!
Zazka is listening. Moving on. Let Zazka get a proper look. One deep cut in the belly, then across. Akrog is listening. Rest for a moment.
What on earth is this? Going now, move on. This looks interesting.
No, I'll go look. Can Zazka help? One deep cut in the belly, then across. All right. The seedling first. Look. Look. Prettier than Zazka ever was. Going now. If he insists. This way? Head towards certain doom. Sure, why not? Look. Better make this mean something, rotten beast. Make this mean something.
That was him. Akrog. Akrog feels it.
What mean? What Zazka do? Where he go?
As Grungwa said, the explanations must wait. Let them go back into the now, chieftain.
But
Akrog, please. They are running out of time. Let Grumwar closer look.
Grumwar.
Chieftain.
Grumwar said. He said that the blood hex might not give the seedling the strength to survive through time. How likely is it?
Grumwar knows not. All they can do is pray to Magua and hope.
Magua watch over them then.
She will. Do it. Let them return to the now. Grumwar will go there.
You're ready. He is going.
Big Blood, look! It's so beautiful. And Black Root's all gone.
It is true.
Magua is powerful.
You find out.
Magua's bloody tusks. He is alive. He is alive!
Falling. Zaska. Falling.
But only barely.
Falling. Grumwar must do thing!
He will. Magua praise this flesh, shine her light into his blood and onto his hide, and grant him new life.
It worked. He...
Zaska! That is his name. What by Magua's grumbling utters happened? The seedling, he...
Look around, Zaska. It worked. This is the now, and the corruption is gone.
Then why the rot is Zaska still here?
Grumwar thinks he knows, but maybe this can wait. They must open the sarcophagus.
Tell them his explanation, Grumwar. Akrog wants to know.
As does Zaska.
So be it then. Grumwar thinks that when Akrog, Grumwar, and Noag went back into the now, Zaska did too.
Even though he was so far from the sphere.
It is the only explanation that makes sense. Maybe the now knew the Moonkin were just travelers. It is impossible to tell. And as for why Zaska is still alive despite losing all his blood, well, the tears saved him.
He means those plants stopped him bleeding to death?
It is true. If he did the blood-giving the true way, he should have died after a dozen heartbeats. But he died not. Probably because the hex power of the tears kept him safe. Magua saved him, Zaska.
They should look at that sarcophagus, Akrog.
Akrog cannot say how glad he is to have his trusted one back, but Zaska should not have done this. Akrog forbade it.
And let the Moonkin die?
No, but they would have found another way. Zaska had no right to decide this alone. Akrog is the chieftain.
Wrong. Akrog is Zaska's trusted one first, and his chieftain second. If Akrog wants a dumb, docile beak who obeys without question, then fine. They can break the bond of trust right now. If he wants a trusted one, though, then he must accept that Zaska has his own will.
Trusted one's trust. That is the meaning of the word. And if Zaska would have trusted Akrog, he would not have made that decision in the shadows.
Stop! Stop! Blackroot's gone! Zaska healed, so why stare? So much kin dead, so kin no fight can stick together! If Grump could heal Grumple when Dragon take him, Noag never would fight with Grumple! He never! Noag speaks true. Look, Akrog. Zaska, he is sorry. Maybe it was rushed. Maybe it was wrong to decide on his own. But it worked, no? Maybe that is what they should focus on.
It is true. And Zaska is right. He is not Akrog's beak. Akrog is sorry if that is what he felt his words meant.
It is settled then. Now let them get back to the task.
A question. When Zaska's spirit was gone, he said something about how he was falling. What meant he?
He spoke?
The chieftain speaks true.
Zaska knows not. He remembers something, but he is not quite sure what it is.
Remember what?
He knows not. Please, let them speak of this later.
All right. All right then. Let them find that head and get out of here.
No, I see no head though. Where is?
Probably inside the stone. This looks like some kind of brittle bone contraption again. A chest. Come.
Ready for action. No, I'll go look.
Akrog sees no sticks to pull. Zaska?
Zaska sees none either. Just stone.
Then crush it, Noag. They have no time for this.
Will that not harm the cub?
It will not. Remember, it is said that no weapon in the world can harm the cub's hide. It is a mystery how these brittle bones could do it.
True. All right, little blood. Smash it. Empty.
No. No, this makes no sense. There must be a hidden spot. They must keep looking.
But where? There is nothing here. Grungwar can see it.
But
The air. Sense the air, Akrog.
What?
It is hard to explain. But Zaska, he remembers what he saw while his spirit was gone. Use the gift of spirits, Akrog.
But there is no time window here. The air even sparkles not.
Zaska knows. Still, try.
All right.
what is here?
The gift. It whispers again.
Interesting. Probably.
Aeonir, guide me. No. No! Bartos! You bastard!
The head was never here. Even back then.
Then where is it? It must be somewhere.
It is here. But it also is not. No understand. Zaska hardly does himself. But he knows it is true. When his spirit was gone, he saw another place. A place between the then and the now. Or rather, above it.
Is that why Zaska said he was falling?
It is true. Everything felt so watery. Like the whole world was an ocean. And Zaska was floating through it.
That sounds strange.
It was.
And this place had something to do with how Akrog summoned the time window.
No, that place is a time window. A giant one that spans across the entire temple. This is how it is possible for everything here to move between the then and the now.
Of course, that makes sense. The smooth water sphere is not the mighty Time Hex. It is only the gate.
Grungwar speaks true.
Noag's head spin. So, that place Zaska saw, where he felt like he was falling, was a time window. Akrog is not sure he understands.
Neither is Zaska. At least not fully. But it is true. He thinks his spirit went into the time window when it left his flesh. Think of it as a bridge. A bridge between two oceans, the now and the then. In normal time windows, this bridge is so small one cannot even see it, like a tiny, tiny pebble. But because this time window spans across the entire temple,
Zaska was able to walk on it. Akrog thinks he understands.
Noag still not.
Why went Zaska's mind into that place, though? Because he was, well, dying.
Grungwar thinks he can answer the question. Many trolls who were close to death but came back spoke of seeing such a place. Maybe the moonlit river is in this time window world. Maybe this is where Magua and Hirin await souls after they pass away.
Maybe. Though Zazka saw no Magua and no Hirin, it was scary, to be honest. He felt lost.
Only because Magua had not found him yet.
This is all interesting. But where is the head? They must find it.
Is it not obvious? Right here, but in the time window world. The high priest of this place must have hidden it there to keep it even safer. And not even the Hierophant was aware of that. Or who knows? Maybe he sensed that she was coming to kill him and take the head and put it into the time window world for safety. They will never know, and it matters not, trusted one. What matters is that they find a way to get there.
But how? They cannot just kill themselves, can they?
No, but...
The High Priest's corpse. They remember the first time window they saw, where the Hierophant killed the High Priest and took his power? His corpse must still be there. And if he was able to hide the Field Dog's head in the time window world, then he must have had a key for that one too.
Then they must go back to the first time window, now!
If he insists. What now?
This looks interesting.
This is it. Can Zazka dig here?
Zazka is right at home. There. That must be him.
Search his pockets, chieftain.
Let Zazka go.
So brittle, these bones. All right. Nothing.
Try using the gift then. It will work. Zazka feels it.
All right. Still not... Wait. Wait. There is something.
At his service.
This must be it. The hidden time key.
It glow, and no one see through. There will be time for wonder later. Let them get back to the smooth water sphere.
Zazka's thoughts exactly.
What should he do?
What is that?
All right. Magua praised.
Zaska saw.
And he was right. The cub's head is right there.
Let Akrog see. Finally. The last part.
Is it just Zaska? Or is that thing smiling?
It is not moving at all. Noag spoke it to him again.
No, but he still feel his hide prickle. It's strange.
How else would a troll feel in the presence of a god? Come, chieftain. Back to the tribe camp. They have been away far too long.
What next? What this?
All right. Magua praise.
What on Urgan is
Find
this?
Akrog feels it pushing.
At his service.
Stepping through the hex gate, Akrog's mind once more became like sand and water. But unlike last time, the memory he saw was a solid one. Battle and roars, the hunter attack. Akrog fights by his sires and Nurbok's side, brittlebone after brittlebone falling under their mighty crush sticks. They are going to make it. They are the Moonkin. They are Mogwa's chosen. They will not fall to... A scream! Sire stands before Nurbok and Akrog, arms outstretched. A spike as big as a tree has pierced right through his chest. A spike that should have hit Akrog. Chaos. The next thing Akrog knows, he kneels by his dying sire's side. Narjak's gaze is like fog. Take care of them, cub, he says. Them and him. Both.
Was tusks. Where is everyone?
That is a rotten good question.
Chieftain, Nor's claws, we thought you'd never return.
What is he talking about? They were only gone for a few hours.
A few hours? What do you mean? You were gone for 3 days.
Days?
A smooth water sphere. Every time the Moonkin used it, they must have shaken up the time.
Smooth water sphere?
It matters not. Tell them what is going on here. Where is the tribe?
It's complicated. Remember you sent the ill and old Moonkin to the coast, the Meadowland, because the field dog had corrupted all the food around here?
Of course they remember. Has something happened to them?
Well, somehow the Chainers and the Hunters caught wind of them, and they are headed for them right now.
But how? Anuk, he did everything he could to keep them secret.
I don't know, Chieftain. I simply don't know.
Magwa's tusks. Those are no warriors. They will be easy prey.
Great warrior Nurbok, or whatever you call him now, thought the same thing. That's why he pushed the Eye Master and Chieftain Cabrax to take all the warriors and travel to the coast to fend them off.
This is madness. The Moonkin are barely a few hundred, and the Chainers and the Hunters together are thousands. Why would the stranger let them leave?
That's what I told them too, at least at first. But then Chieftain Cabrax pointed out that the chances of you coming back were extremely low. So it was either letting your kin on the coast be butchered, or die trying to protect them. I can't say I blame them for choosing the latter.
The stranger speaks true, Chieftain. If Akrog, Grungwa, Zaska, and Noag were truly gone for this long, there was no way for Cabrax to know if they would ever come back. Of course they presumed the worst.
And what of Nurbok? He went with them.
He did indeed. He was fairly convincing. And while I'm no expert on the troll mind, it felt to me like he genuinely just wanted to help.
Kin traitors get not to die an honorable death. Cabrax and Anuk should have just left him here in chains.
Well, they didn't.
If they left us sunup ago, they will reach the coast soon. The Moonkin must resurrect the cub now.
So, you found the head?
Noag has it. What needs the stranger for the resurrection ritual? Can you do it straight away?
I would have preferred a bit of time to study the reassembled body first, but in theory, yes, I can do it.
Into the sarcophagus. And let them pray to Mugwa this works.
Ready for action.
Chieftain Akrog?
Akrog found an echo. Can the stranger take a look?
Chieftain Akrog?
Akrog found an echo. Can the stranger take a look? What is this? Moving now. Akrog is listening.
This looks interesting.
Yes? After something shiny.
Akrog will see what she has.
Going now.
No, I'll go look. They should come back here later. He go there.
A demigod indeed.
There is no time for talking. Cast the hex and put it back together.
I was just about to.
What happened?
I don't know. It's gone.
Gone?
Yes. The field dog's energy, the hex power. I had it and was trying to fuse it back together, but then it just vanished. I don't understand this, Chieftain. I studied this spell for years and...
Is he telling them he killed it? Sarek's cub is dead?
I told you I don't know. Norse claws, I don't understand this myself. I did everything right. I tapped into the archfire, and then
He failed! That is what the stranger did. He failed! Grungwar told the chieftain, Brittlebones cannot be trusted. Let Grungwar crush him, chieftain. Let Grungwar crush him here and now. He deserves it. He should...
This one is alive. They heard that?
Is this him? Is this Zarek's cub?
A cub? Yes, this one believes you could call them that. So, you are this one's saviors, are you not? Interesting.
The Moonkin have lived here for moons. Zarek's cub knows them not.
Oh yes, this one knows the trolls. He just did not see. But he sees it now. Their weak flesh. This one sees it sharp and clear.
How can it be the Moonkin hear it? Is this some sort of hex? A hex that goes into their minds?
The tiny meatbag is right. This one is speaking out through their minds. That lump of flesh between their skulls.
Why worked the stranger's hex not? It should have brought the cub back to life.
I'm wondering the same thing.
It did not work because this one's flesh has grown too weak. 2 centuries this one has been this way. 2 centuries torn into pieces. This one had a plan, yes, but the human he chose to take him out of here was too weak. So here this one lay, decade after decade, the bond between his limbs growing ever weaker. And now that his flesh is finally rejoined, it has grown too weak to hold his spirit. It's pathetic.
The human he chose. Speaks the cub of the chieftain of this place, Hierophant Ishara.
Ishara, yes. She was weak in the mind, but strong in flesh and magic. So this one thought she might be able to hold him. She was not. So Zaska was right. The cub drove the Brittlebones mad, so they would kill each other. Yes, the Lightlings. They think their noble spirits make them so high and mighty. Yet that is why they will ultimately succumb. Softness, love, hope. Where there is virtue, there is the seed for corruption. Strength is untouchable. Hope is good. Crumple always say so. Look. The Firstborn's blood has a weak spirit. Disappointing. Everything seeks to survive and to grow, but only the strongest will. This is the law. This is the struggle. This is the cycle.
So the cub is saying, what? That his body has become useless?
Yes.
However, this one knows of the troll struggle. The human hunters, the orcish slavers. The scales are not tilted in their favor.
Then the cub knows why they have awoken him.
This one does. And this one also has the strength they seek to cure the rot in the troll's dying blood and to crush their predators like the meatbags they are. Were this one's flesh not useless, he would do it.
So the stranger was right. The cub truly knows how to cleanse the Moonkin's blood so they can give life again?
Of course. Life and death, growth and decay. All powers that come from the same source. This one can purge the troll's blood, and they will be strong again.
Where did the cub's powers come from? From Zarek, like the Moonkin's hexes come from Mugwa.
The tiny meatbag is brazen, comparing this one and its sire to a god that does not exist. Yes, this one's magic comes from Zarek, but like Zarek's, this one draws it from the same place all beings do, like the trolls do too.
What is he talking about? What place?
The Archfire. He's talking about the Archfire, the source of all magic.
The Dark Elf speaks the truth.
Said the cub just that Mugwa exists not? She gave the Moonkin the power to speak and to cast hexes, and she has protected them for centuries.
That is what this one said, because it is the truth. The Guardians and the Renegades exist, but Mugwa, the goddess of the trolls, is but a mirage.
Nonsense. Chieftain Narjak Firstborn was her chosen. That is why his flesh did not grow older.
So that is what your chieftain told you. Your chieftain was immortal because he was a firstborn, a prime specimen of your race. It was Zarek who gave your chieftain his immortality, and he passed part of it on to your vicious little moon blood. Curious he wouldn't tell you this. Then again, every race has its own little story of why they are the chosen ones. So this one should not be surprised.
This is...
Quiet, Grumlar. They have no time. If Zarek's cub knows why the Moonkin summoned it, then he also knows the Moonkin tribe is fighting the Chainers and the Hunters right now. Is there anything they can do to restore its body?
There is. This one is grateful for what the trolls did. So this one hoped there would be another way. But because the flesh is so weak, there is not.
Then say it. Whatever it is, the Moonkin will pay the price.
This one needs to perform the sanguine ritual at an Archfire vein. And to do this one needs a new vessel.
A vessel?
Yes. This one's old flesh is dead, and it will stay dead no matter what they do. The only way to survive is to form a new body at an Archfire vein. But to do this one's spirit needs a vessel. One to carry it to the vein and serve as a conduit. This is his offer. Grant him one of their bodies as a new vessel and bring him to an Archfire vein. Then he will rise anew. Help the trolls crush their enemies and cure their blood as they ask of him.
This vessel, what will happen to it?
Death.
He knew it. Zazka knew it.
What is an archfire vein? What is he talking about?
There are many words for it, but in essence, they are places where bits of archfire magic seep through. Imagine a giant bright flame buried under layers and layers of rock. That is the archfire, the source of all magic. Veins, where the rock is particularly thin, allow mages to tap into that power. There are several of those on Io, but the most prominent are the ones where the Godstones struck Io, the blue crystal comets. Like that shrine where you buried your chieftain, Magwa's cradle, or the one in the Red Meadow.
Listen to the Dark Elf.
The stranger speaks of Magwa's blood drop, the stones she blessed.
So your people believe, yes.
No, there must be another way. The Moonkin have his body. Can they not just take it to this vein so the cub can resurrect it there?
This one told them. This flesh is dead and useless. By bringing the parts together, they allowed this one to mend his spirit. But that is all. The only way for this one to return to the world is by forming his body anew. That is why he needs a vessel to take his mind to a vein.
The tribe for the blood for the tribe. Grangwa understands. Chieftain Akrug, let Grangwa make this sacrifice. He will offer his body to the cub so they can save the Moonkin.
No, this is beak shit. There will be no more sacrificing. Rot it. They know not even if what this thing says is true.
Gave Zaska not his blood for the tribe just moments ago? They heard the cub. There is no other way. Please, Chieftain, let Grangwa do this. Grangwa has lived far too long, and his old hide has long been a burden for the tribe. Let him...
Weak.
What?
You are weak. The Hierophant's body cannot hold this one's spirit, so there is no way your old and useless flesh could. And the same goes for the Chieftain and the Worm Eater. The Firstborn's cub could. The chance is still small, but it could.
He means...
Noag. He is talking about your brother.
Akrog understands not. Why could he not hold the cub spirit? He is strong and young. He can take it.
Yes, you are strong. Just like the brittle-bone priestess Ishara was. But it is simply not possible. This one is a god. You are mere meatbags. Only the Firstborn's blood can contain this one, and even he could not do it for long.
I think he's telling the truth, Chieftain. I'm powerful, and his magic would kill me in an instant.
But... Zarek's cub has lied and tricked the Brittlebones who lived here. How can the Moonkin know he lies not to them too? What if he takes Little Blood, lets the Moonkin resurrect him, then disappears?
Rotten right.
Tell them. How know the Moonkin the cub would honor its pact?
You do not. Loyalty is for the Lightlings. Loyalty creates weakness. Then again, they share the same sire. So this one will keep his promise.
Maybe they share the same sire, but Zarek has no love for Trollkind. They were always stronger than the Greenskins, yet he let them make trolls their slaves.
Wrong. The trolls let the orcs make them their slaves. Zarek is struggle. Zarek is strength. Did they really expect him to favor one creation over the other? The trolls are weak. That is why the orcs dominate them. It has nothing to do with favor. So no, this one bears the trolls no malice. just like Zarek. If they strike a pact, this one will honor it.
So he says. Rot it. This thing is a liar. Can they see it not?
Grungwar, Zaska, what think they of this?
Zaska said it already. No, they will not sacrifice Noag over some vague promise.
If they sacrifice him not, they sacrifice all of the Moonkin.
Grungwar says this as if he knew the cub was speaking the truth. Malqua's utters. They know what this thing does. It lies, it deceives, and it kills to get its own way. And even if it did not, they will not sacrifice Noag. Not him. Zaska is so sorry, Noag. They are confused. All of them are.
Pathetic.
What?
All this time, it was Zaska who pushed the chieftain to awaken Zarek's cub, no matter the price. So many kin died, but no, he always said it was for the greater good. And now that someone he loves should die, it is suddenly a problem. Why even pretend this is about the cub's lies, Zaska? The Brittlebones have a word for people like him. It is hypocrite.
Oh, look who is talking. If Zaska is not mistaken, it was Grungwar who said that there is no way of knowing if a spawn of Zarek would honor a pact, and that he has no love for Trollkind. And now?
Now they are here, and this is their last chance to survive. Rot it, Zaska. Grungwar had so much respect for him, and now this. But Grungwar's faith lies with the chieftain. He will make the right decision.
Rotten right he will.
Knew the stranger this was going to happen. Lied he to the Moonkin?
What? No. How?
He did not. Not even this one knew a vessel would be needed if they rejoined his flesh. But this is how it is.
There is one thing Akrog understands not. If the cub is so powerful, why must it even ask? Why seizes it not simply what it wants?
If this one had flesh and his full powers, then maybe it would.
There they have it. This thing cares not a bit for the trolls. It only wants to get its will.
Nonsense. If that were so, it would not have even told the Moonkin that the vessel dies.
You are both right. This one never claimed to care for the trolls, but this one did not lie either.
Grungwar, Noag is the last troll of the firstborn blood. If he goes, then it will be forever lost, and Trollkind might never be strong enough to stand up to the Greenskins or Brittlebones again.
There are other ways. It is true, this is horrible, and it would break Grungwar's heart. But all the Moonblood of the world is not worth leaving a whole tribe to slaughter. Grungwar is so sorry, Moonblood, but there is no choice.